The cold metal of the police car door slams shut. The sound echoes louder than it should. Aisha Coleman flinches, not because she's scared, but because every single eye in the Ridgeway Heights high school parking lot is on her. Phones are raised. Whispers ripple like a sickness. She's 17. Her hands are cuffed behind her back. And she's done nothing wrong. Officer Daniel Mercer stands inches away, arms crossed, jaw tight. His badge glints in the afternoon sun like a warning. "Miss," he says flatly, "you're being detained for questioning regarding vandalism of a private vehicle." Aisha swallows. Slow, controlled. Just like her mother taught her. "I didn't touch his car," she says calmly. Behind Officer Mercer, Tyler Mercer leans against a dented black sedan, smug smile carved across his face. His Letterman jacket hangs open. His friends laugh under their breath. Tyler tilts his head and shrugs. "She scratched it, I saw her." "Liar." Aisha's heart pounds, but her face doesn't show it. She scans the crowd. Students she's known for exactly 3 weeks. Teachers frozen, unsure whether to intervene. No one steps forward. "Hey, beautiful souls, pause for a second. Where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments, because this story, it reaches everywhere injustice hides." The officer doesn't ask for witnesses. He doesn't check cameras. He doesn't question why there's not a single scratch visible from where he's standing. He just nods at his son. "Turn around," Mercer orders. The cuffs click. That sound, that's the moment everything changes. Aisha feels it, the humiliation, the weight of being judged guilty before she's even spoken. She thinks of her little brother Malik, waiting at home, expecting her to help with homework. She thinks of her mother, away on assignment, trusting the system to protect her child. A bitter truth settles in her chest. The system doesn't protect people like her here. Tyler steps closer, voice low enough only she can hear. "Should have kept your head down," he whispers. "This is my town." Aisha meets his eyes. No tears, no begging. Just quiet strength. And that bothers him more than anything. 20 minutes earlier, the confrontation started with a scrape of metal. Tyler had been yelling, angry, packing beside his car after a bad grade. Aisha had walked past, keys in hand, backpack slung over one shoulder. "Watch it," Tyler snapped. She stopped, turned. "I wasn't near your car." He kicked the door himself. Hard. The dent was ugly. Instant regret flashed across his face, then calculation. Perfect. Aisha didn't know any of that yet. She just knew she was walking to her bus when Tyler's voice rang out behind her. "Hey, you just scratched my car." She turned, confused. "What? No, I didn't." He smiled. That smile. The one people learn to fear. Back in the present, Officer Mercer opens the cruiser door again. "You have the right to remain silent." "I know my rights," Aisha says gently. That finally earns her a sharp look. "You'll have a chance to explain yourself at the station." The crowd parts as the car pulls away. Phones follow. By the time the cruiser turns the corner, Ridgeway Heights already has its story. New girl arrested, vandalism trouble. And not a single person asks if it's true. Inside the car, the silence is heavy. Aisha stares out the window. She notices details most people wouldn't. The angle of the dash cam, the officer's rigid posture, the absence of follow-up questions. Procedural shortcuts. Her mother's voice echoes in her mind. When authority forgets accountability, that's when damage is done. Her chest tightens. She doesn't argue. She waits. Because arguing with power like this only makes things worse. At the station, things escalate. Her backpack is dumped on the table, books spill out, a half-eaten granola bar, a folded photo of her family. Officer Mercer flips through everything with cold efficiency. "Where's the key you used?" he asks. "I didn't use a key," Aisha replies. Tyler lounges by the door, arms folded, enjoying every second. "She's lying," he says. "I saw her bend down." "You weren't even facing the car," Aisha says before she can stop herself. Officer Mercer slams his palm on the table. "That's enough." Aisha goes quiet. The room smells like disinfectant and old coffee. The clock ticks too loudly. She feels small. Not because she is, but because they're trying to make her feel that way. Hey, beautiful souls, if this moment is making your blood boil, hit that like button so this story reaches more people who need to hear it. Hours pass. No phone call. No guardian. Just questions that go in circles. Finally, she's released pending further investigation. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just a warning. "Stay out of trouble," Officer Mercer says. As if she invited it. That night, Ridgeway Heights buzzes. Social media posts spread. Another one caught, shouldn't have messed with the Mercers. Aisha sits on her bed, phone dark in her hands. Malik knocks softly. "Are you okay?" he asks. She forces a smile. "I'm fine." But when he leaves, her shoulders sag. She exhales. Long. Slow. Then she opens her laptop. Not to cry. Not to complain. To document. Timestamps, names, badge numbers. Because Aisha Coleman didn't grow up powerless. And the Mercers have no idea. This story is just beginning. Absolutely, take a breath, because everything changes here. The email arrives at 2:17 a.m. Aisha isn't asleep. She's sitting cross-legged on her bed, laptop open, replaying the afternoon in her head frame by frame. The slam of the cruiser door, Tyler's smile, the way Officer Mercer never once asked for proof. Her phone buzzes. Unknown contact. Is this Aisha Coleman? Her fingers hover over the screen. She types back carefully, "Aisha, yes, who is this?" 3 dots appear, disappear then. Unknown contact. "My name is Mrs. Evelyn Parker. I'm a teacher at Ridgeway Heights High, and I think you were set up." Aisha's heart skips. Hope is dangerous. She knows that, but still she replies. "Aisha, what makes you say that?" The response is immediate. "Parker, because my classroom window faces the parking lot, and because what I saw doesn't match what's being said." Aisha closes her eyes. There it is. The crack in the wall. The next morning, Aisha meets Mrs. Parker at a quiet cafe just outside town. The woman is in her late 50s, hands wrapped around a mug like she needs the warmth. "I shouldn't be doing this," she says softly, "but I can't stay quiet." She slides her phone across the table. Video. Grainy but clear enough. Tyler Mercer kicking his own car. Once, twice. Then storming off. Aisha's breath catches. Mrs. Parker leans in. "I sent this to the school administration. It disappeared." Aisha looks up sharply. "Disappeared?" "Principal called me into his office," Parker says. "Said I was mistaken. Suggested I retire early." Silence hangs between them. Power protects power. Hey, beautiful souls, pause right here. If you've ever seen truth buried to protect the powerful, drop a comments. You're not alone. Aisha straightens her shoulders. "May I have a copy?" she asks. Mrs. Parker nods. "Already sent, check your email." That night, Aisha makes a call she's been avoiding. Her mother answers on the first ring. "Aisha," Chief Inspector Renee Coleman's voice is calm but sharp. "What happened?" Aisha doesn't dramatize. She doesn't cry. She lays out facts, timelines, names, procedures violated. There's a long pause on the other end. Then, Send me everything, her mother says. The temperature shifts. Renee Coleman isn't just a cop. She oversees internal affairs. And she's known for one thing across 3 counties. She doesn't play favorites. By morning, the quiet town of Ridgeway Heights has no idea what's coming. Because Aisha isn't just documenting anymore. She's preparing. Her mother connects her with someone local, off the books. Detective Luis Ramirez. Early 40s, clean record, reputation for integrity. They meet in his unmarked car, parked 2 blocks from the station. I can't officially represent you, he says, but I can listen. Aisha hands him a folder. Body cam request logs, time discrepancies, Mrs. Parker's video. Ramirez exhales slowly. This is bad, he mutters. How bad? Aisha asks. He looks at her, really looks. Bad enough that if this goes public, careers end. Meanwhile, Tyler Mercer is feeling untouchable. At school he walks taller, louder. She got what she deserved, he tells his friends. You don't disrespect my family. But cracks are forming. A junior named Caleb messages Aisha anonymously. Caleb, Tyler's done this before, you're not the first. Screenshots follow. Threats, intimidation. His father's name used like a weapon. Dark secrets don't stay buried forever. They stack. They rot. They leak. Aisha and her mother speak late into the night. This isn't about revenge, Renee says. It's about accountability. Aisha nods, I know. But inside, something fierce is growing. Not anger. Clarity. They map it out. Step by step. Internal affairs complaint, civil rights attorney, media embargo until evidence is airtight. They don't rush. They let the Mercers get comfortable. Overconfident. Careless. Hey, beautiful souls. If this story is hitting you the way I think it is, you're going to want to subscribe because what happens next will blow your mind. 2 weeks pass. Then 3. Officer Mercer is still on patrol. Still wearing the badge. Still convinced his authority is unquestioned. Until the email hits his inbox. Subject, notice of internal review, immediate action required. His blood runs cold. At the same moment, Tyler is called into the principal's office. Again. This time there are no smiles. No nods. Just silence. The power dynamic is shifting. And they feel it. But they don't know how deep this goes. They don't know that Aisha Coleman isn't waiting anymore. She's moving. Quietly. Precisely. In the trap. It's already being built. Let's go. This is where the tables turn. The first mistake Tyler Mercer makes is thinking the storm has passed. 2 weeks of nothing. No charges, no public outrage, no whispers loud enough to matter. In his mind, that means victory. He laughs louder in the halls, shoves shoulders a little harder, brags a little more openly. They tried, he tells his friends, didn't work. Officer Daniel Mercer makes the second mistake. He agrees. Internal review, routine paperwork, a formality. He's worn a badge for 22 years. He knows how this works. What he doesn't realize is that the hunter has already chosen the terrain. Aisha sits at her desk at home, walls covered in sticky notes and timelines. Malik does his homework nearby, humming softly. This right here is why she's doing this. So her little brother never grows up thinking silence is survival. Detective Ramirez calls. They bit, he says. Aisha straightens, how deep? Mercer volunteered for a public community transparency forum, town hall, open Q&A. A slow smile spreads across her face. Perfect. Hey, beautiful souls, quick check-in. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your location in the comments and stay with me because this next part is unreal. The plan is surgical. No shouting. No accusations. Just truth. Layered. Timed. Irrefutable. Renee Coleman oversees the internal process from the shadows. Officially, she's not connected to the case. Unofficially, she's watching every move. Ramirez secures body cam footage, not just from the day of the arrest, but from weeks before. Patterns emerge. Shortcuts, assumptions, bias. Tyler's name appears more than once. And then the final piece. A forgotten surveillance camera from a nearby hardware store across the street from the school parking lot. High definition. Clear angle. Time-stamped. Aisha watches the footage in silence. There it is. Tyler kicking his car, then glancing around, then pointing at Aisha moments later. She doesn't feel satisfaction. She feels calm. Town hall night arrives. The room is packed. Residents, parents, teachers, media, just enough to keep things polite. Officer Mercer sits at the front table, uniform pressed, posture confident. Tyler sits in the back row, arms crossed. Smirking. The moderator opens the floor. Any questions from the community? Aisha stands. The room stills. Some recognize her. Whispers ripple. She walks forward slowly. Steady. My name is Aisha Coleman, she says. 2 weeks ago, I was detained by Officer Daniel Mercer based on an accusation made by his son. Mercer's jaw tightens. She continues. I'd like to ask a few questions, respectfully. The moderator hesitates, then nods. Mercer forces a smile. Go ahead. Aisha's voice is calm, almost gentle. Officer Mercer, did you review any video evidence before detaining me? No, he says. The situation required immediate action. Did you ask any witnesses for statements? No. Did you consider recusing yourself due to a personal conflict of interest? A murmur moves through the room. Mercer stiffens. No. Aisha nods, thank you. She steps aside. Ramirez stands. Detective Luis Ramirez, he says. With permission, I'd like to submit evidence. Screens light up. The hardware store footage plays. Gasps fill the room. Tyler shifts in his seat. The body cam footage follows. Procedural violations highlighted in real time. Silence crashes down. Mercer's face drains of color. This is the moment. The triumph. The truth bomb. But then the unexpected. The school principal stands. This footage was obtained without district approval, he snaps. This is highly inappropriate. Momentum falters. The moderator hesitates. Mercer seizes the moment. This is a smear campaign, he says loudly. My family is being targeted. Some people nod. Doubt creeps back in. Aisha's chest tightens. Is this slipping away? Hey beautiful souls, if your heart just dropped, tap that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what happens next. Outside, reporters swarm. Inside, the meeting dissolves into chaos. Tyler slips out a side door. Aisha notices. She follows. The hallway is empty. Tyler spins when he sees her. You think you won, he sneers. My dad will walk. Aisha meets his gaze. No, she says, you just testified. He frowns. She holds up her phone. Recording. His smirk fades. Then footsteps echo. Officer Mercer appears. What's going on? Tyler opens his mouth. And lies. She's harassing me. Mercer steps forward. Authority flares. Aisha's pulse races. This isn't over. This is escalating. And somewhere deep inside, she realizes they're desperate now. And desperate people are dangerous. Ridgeway Heights never feels smaller or colder than it does now. Aisha sits in her room, phone buzzing, messages piling up. Some supportive, many cruel threats, rumors, some from Tyler's friends, some from strangers emboldened by power. Malik peers in, hesitant. Are you going to be okay? She forces a smile. I'll be fine. Inside, she doesn't feel fine. For the first time, she wonders, can truth really win against authority, against legacy, against lies wrapped in uniforms? The internal review has stalled. Officer Mercer's attorney argues procedural errors, the footage, unlawfully obtained. Tyler's punishment is delayed. School administration claims due process. Parents murmur quietly in hallways. In the town, half on her side, half whispering doubts. Even Ramirez is tense. We're running out of leverage, he admits. If this goes too long, public memory fades. Aisha swallows. She had planned for this, not the anxiety. Then the unexpected ally appears. Mrs. Parker, the teacher who started it all. She brings evidence no one expected. Handwritten notes Tyler left in a history classroom, mocking the easy target new girl and detailing how he'd manipulate his dad. This, Parker says softly, is more than proof of mischief. It shows intent. Aisha examines it, heart races, every word a nail in the coffin. But just as hope flares, a crisis hits. At school, Tyler discovers her laptop, hidden but not secure. He leaks parts of the investigation online, framing her as overreacting, attempting blackmail, stirring a social media frenzy. Now Aisha's credibility is under attack. Friends doubt her. Some classmates whisper, maybe she started this. Even Malik looks unsure. Fear grips her chest. For the first time, she feels vulnerable. Renee Coleman returns to town, her timing impeccable. She calls Aisha, voice steady. You've done well, but the fight isn't over. You need evidence from an official source, something that cannot be dismissed. They map it, police dashboard footage from the day of the incident, body cam logs, witness statements suppressed by bias. The crucial piece, a time-stamped audio recording of Tyler confessing to damaging his own car in anger. It's perfect, irrefutable. But obtaining it means Aisha and Ramirez must confront Officer Mercer directly. Heart thunders, fear spikes. If Mercer refuses, destroys evidence, or retaliates, they could lose everything. The meeting is tense. Unmarked van outside the station. Doors close. Ramirez drives. Aisha holds her breath. Inside the evidence room, Mercer smirks confident. You really think you can prove anything? He asks. Aisha doesn't respond. She passes him the audio device. Mercer presses play. Tyler's voice echoes. I just lost it. I kicked the car. Didn't mean anything. Don't tell Dad. The smirk falters. Aisha leans in. That's what you didn't expect to come out. Officer Mercer's face tightens. Panic flickers. Overconfidence crumbles. Ramirez calmly lays out everything. The suppressed footage, Mrs. Parker's testimony, procedural violations. Mercer freezes. Every violation, every shortcut, every bias documented. The tide begins to turn. Back in town, the school's administration can't ignore it. Public outcry surges. Social media now aligns with Aisha. Supportive videos, community posts, commentary from law students, evidence is too overwhelming. Tyler tries to flee accountability, but his friends desert him. Overconfidence evaporates. Aisha, however, has changed. The fear that gripped her early in Act 4, she channels it, calm, precise, unwavering. Her moral compass guides her actions, not revenge. This is her transformation. And then the final piece falls into place. Chief Renee Coleman personally steps in. She calls a press conference. Her voice is commanding. Justice is not privilege, it is truth, and today truth prevails. Internal Affairs issues formal charges against Officer Mercer for procedural violations. Tyler Mercer faces disciplinary action and legal consequences for filing a false report. The town watches. The hallways that once echoed with whispers of power now echo with accountability. Aisha stands quietly, notebook in hand, Malik at her side. She looks at her mother. "You did it," Malik whispers. "No," Aisha says softly, "we did it." Hope rises, fear dissipates, confidence solidifies. She realizes, even in the darkest hour, planning, patience, and truth can turn the tide. Ridgeway Heights wakes up to headlines that feel unreal. Internal Affairs holds Officer Mercer accountable. Tyler Mercer faces disciplinary action after false accusation. Ridgeway Heights learns the cost of power without responsibility. Aisha scrolls through the articles, eyes scanning each line. The town she walked through 2 months ago, where whispers and fear protected the wrong people, is now buzzing with awareness. She leans back in her chair, letting the weight lift from her shoulders. Malik peeks in, wide-eyed. "Does this mean everything's okay?" Aisha smiles, ruffling his hair. "It means truth matters more than silence. That's what matters." The Mercer household is quiet. Officer Daniel Mercer is suspended, forced to confront the consequences of letting bias override duty. His reputation tarnished, his authority questioned by peers he once assumed would defend him. Tyler sits alone in his room, no smirk, no friends hovering to protect him. For the first time, he feels powerless. Aisha doesn't gloat. She doesn't need to. Her victory isn't revenge, it's accountability. At school, the atmosphere shifts. Hallways that once echoed with intimidation now hum with cautious respect. Students who watched silently before begin to speak out against unfairness. Teachers, emboldened by the precedent, enforce rules fairly. Aisha returns, confident, calm. Her presence is no longer that of a target, it's a reminder. One student whispers as she passes, "She's fearless." Malik watches from the doorway, proud. Weeks later, Aisha visits the community center with her mother and Ramirez. They organize a justice and awareness workshop for students, teaching lessons about power, accountability, and standing up responsibly. Aisha speaks to a room full of teenagers. Being quiet isn't weakness, but neither is silence the answer. When we act with truth, courage, and strategy, we can make change. That's power, and everyone deserves a chance to use it. Applause fills the room. Hope rises, transformation spreads. Tyler is quietly escorted to counseling sessions as part of his discipline. Officer Mercer undergoes retraining, reviews, and probation. The town slowly, cautiously, learns to hold those in authority accountable. The ripple effect of one girl's courage reshapes an entire community. Aisha reflects quietly on her journey. From that first humiliating day in the parking lot, cuffs biting her wrists, whispers stinging her ears, to now, she has grown in ways she didn't expect. She has discovered patience, precision, moral strength. She has learned that power isn't about who yells the loudest or who hides behind a badge. It's about using what you have responsibly, to protect, to stand for truth, to lift others. At home, Malik nudges her again. "Do you think anyone else could have done what you did?" Aisha shakes her head. "Maybe, but I didn't do it alone." She looks at her mother. Renee Coleman smiles, pride shining in her eyes. And she knows in that moment that justice is more than punishment. It's legacy. It's the lessons we leave behind. The camera pans over Ridgeway Heights High School. Students gather in small groups, talking, laughing. But this time they look around, checking that fairness exists, that power is accountable. Aisha walks through the courtyard, head high, backpack over one shoulder. Not a victim, not just a survivor, a teacher, a leader. Her phone buzzes with messages, thank yous, supportive notes, people inspired by her courage. Hey, beautiful souls, thank you for taking this incredible journey with Aisha. Hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what part of her story moved you the most. Because this isn't just Aisha's story, it's ours too. Every time someone stands up for truth, every time someone refuses to let power go unchecked. That's transformation, that's justice, that's legacy. And in Ridgeway Heights, things will never be the same again.